This brings us, folks, to my winners and losers of the week. Joining me now, District Media President Beverly Hallberg. All right, Beverly, Lululemon's on our list because you just heard Susan's report. I mean, talk about hypocrisy, right? You're promoting a class-resistant capitalism. You sell yoga pants for $128. And by the way, this is the same company whose founder once chided women for having big thighs only because he was trying to find an excuse for selling crappy clothes in the first place.
And I'll admit it, I think those thighs are just getting bigger as we're all sitting at home during COVID. As Susan just mentioned, there is a lot of spandex being bought as people are working from home. The thing that I think is so ironic about this is the cost, as you just mentioned. I buy my yoga pants from Target because I will not spend the price that Lululemon wants you to spend on these pants. But apparently they do care about capitalism because the reality is they took this Instagram post down because they didn't want to lose customers. So I think the bottom line does speak after all.
Target's got some great stuff. I don't buy Lululemon or Under Armour stuff anymore. Target. By the way, let's go through these because I got a lot. My little loser is Rio Tinto. It's a gigantic, enormous mining giant, a multi-billion-dollar company, and they didn't take any care to avoid destroying a 46,000-year-old sacred indigenous site in Australia to expand an iron ore mine. The CEO says he's going to step down next year, but I think it's willful ignorance. And then, by the way, Beverly, this is the kind of willful ignorance that hurts capitalism.
Absolutely, because here's the reality. This is where we get more regulations on businesses. I believe firmly that the majority of private entities and people who own land take care of it well because they care about the land. When you have a company coming in like this and, like you said, willful ignorance, not actually taking the time to understand the importance of certain aspects of the land, it ruins it for all. And I think we're going to see more regulations, unfortunately.
Your loser is Netflix. Tell us why.
Well, we've seen a lot of reporting on this new film that they released called Cuties. In August, when the artwork came out, a lot of people were concerned about the sexualized nature of the girls on this image. And Netflix told us, we're so sorry. Don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. Well, Charles, the film was released yesterday, and it's worse than we can imagine. 11-year-olds twerking. And here's the thing. I've seen a lot of people talking about canceling their subscriptions. I think this could be a big loser for Netflix.
Oh, boy, I don't even want to go there. Let's go with the winners, right? Because usually I pay tribute, in fact, every 9/11 by visiting the firehouse of Engine 54, Ladder 4, Battalion 9. They lost most of their men on that fateful day. It was the entire shift, in fact, 15 firefighters. They went there and they were all killed trying to save their fellow New Yorkers. I couldn't make it today, but I do want to give them a shout out and of course the team over there and all the first responders. I mean, they're the winners today, but they're winners every single day. And I also want to point out one other thing. My other winner real quick is a father who bought his son a bottle of Scotch whiskey every birthday for 18 years. I always tell you folks, invest in things, anything, right? It's not just a stock market. You can create wealth. While this kind of gesture on his part probably wasn't to create wealth, he ended up with these bottles. Guess what? They're worth 44,000 pounds, and his son is going to be able to sell them for a down payment on a house, Beverly.
Well, look, I'm glad he's able to invest, but Charles, you don't want to promote any type of underage drinking and buying alcohol for minors, so be careful with that. I'm glad he didn't drink it, so the dad is safe. But I do want to mention just very briefly on 9/11, one of the things I've loved to see today is people of different political parties coming together and talking about the heroism on 9/11. As we talk about defunding the police and as there's push for that, I hope we remember those who sacrificed everything that day.
Is that why you like New York Representative Max Rose?
Well, I like New York Representative Max Rose because I love marketing, and he had a great ad out this week unifying New Yorkers, which is a very hard thing to do in a polarized environment. He had one message in a 15-second ad saying that Bill de Blasio is the worst mayor New York has ever seen. And he ended by saying, that's the ad. That's it, folks. And I think that's a winning ad for him. A lot of people are frustrated in New York, and maybe they're going to go vote for him for Congress now. Yeah.
We'll see. A winning ad, but a terrible situation for New York. All right, love our segments, Beverly. Have a great weekend. Talk to you next week.
You too.
Coming up.